Now look, I always say to take these videos with a grain of salt. I'll be watching them to inform myself, but a lot of this stuff, and a lot of times they be trying to cover this up because let's see if her father even says anything. So we ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Do what everybody else would have to do. Like, it's not, you don't have to prove me wrong. I just want the truth. Honestly, I can take a no. I can take, if I'm embarrassed at the end of the day, I can take that. I really can. I've been through a lot, I've seen a lot. I could take me being embarrassed. Like, this can't take nobody not saying nothing.
And let me tell y'all, these results have gotten the Carter household in a chokehold because Jay-Z's past might finally be catching up to him.
Matthew Knowles is already regretting selling Beyoncé off to Jay-Z when she was just 16 because he just found out that Jay had a son the whole time, and guess what? He slept with that boy's mother when she was also just 16. The bad son in question is Rymir Suttherwaite, and baby, this boy isn't playing with Jay-Z. He has been on Jay's neck for over 10 years now, and he even hinted at Jay allegedly taking his mama out just to keep this whole thing from blowing up on social media. Rymir also showed some receipts of Jay sending hitmen to take him out in his home. And all I got to say is, Jay might want to back off this man because all these antics seem to only be making him more fixated on revealing the truth. All Rymir has been asking for all these years is for Jay to agree to do a paternity test to confirm whether or not he's really his father. But Jay has been playing hide and seek, literally doing everything in his power to not do the test. People believe the real reason he doesn't want to do the test is because he doesn't want people to know that he was messing with a 16-year-old when he was pushing 30. Just months before Rymir's mother mysteriously died, she sent a letter to the Daily Mail confirming that she was only 16 when Jay impregnated her. Rymir's godmother, Lily Colley, actually came out and revealed not too long ago that when Rhymir initially started this, Jay responded positively, and they even talked about Rymir's music talent and whether it was a good time to put him on his record label. But suddenly different lawyers got involved and their attitude completely changed. I think they realized there was more at stake for Sean given that Wanda was allegedly underage. Since then, there has just been a whole bunch of mistakes, oversights, and collusion between our lawyers and Sean's lawyers, which is why we have to fight back. And we're not giving up. Rhymir appeared in an interview where he accused Jay-Z of cutting checks left and right to pay off lawyers and judges in order to bury this whole paternity case. But wait, it gets messier. Rhymir even called out his own lawyers, saying they were secretly working with Jay behind his back. Yup, he claims they were getting those hush-hush payments too, just to sabotage his fight for the truth.
And a lot of things that's going on still in our court system. I'm just trying to keep the world really aware because this is something that's going on continuously on a daily basis with maybe many different people. So as I said, I was in a major court, me, my mom, my godmom, we've been in court for many years and it's just been crazy. Like as I said before, it's been crazy. We've been going in there. I don't feel like we've been getting our rights really appreciated. So important to deal with because all the fraud on the court, if we just let that, just pass and not say anything about it, they would continue to do anything they want. It's not just with us, it's with people in the world. Like a lot of fraud and a lot of collusion that's just been going on and just been looked over was never supposed to happen. Like, and I will not let that pass. I'm not letting the lawyers get away with that. They will not go in the courtroom of justice and just lie like that and continue to get praised off it or, use this lie to benefit off all these years. Like we've been going to court, putting our hard-earned money out there and we going in there to fight fraud. That's just that's craziness. That's really craziness. And I don't think nobody in the world should have to go through that. You going in there, you paying your hard-earned money. You got these lawyers that just frauding and pitting anything they want basically in the courtroom, and the judges is just allowing this to go on. I honestly believe that both of them should be hold it responsible for this, because if you guys, this is you guys' job, and if the judge can't see this or overlook it, I can understand a mistake, but just throughout the years, this continue to overlook fraud it's just craziness to me. Like, come on, it's right there in your face. If you can't see that, then I don't know what else we can do to help you guys believe that it's something crazy going on with this case. Honestly, I just want everybody in the world just to keep their eyes open and just watch things that happen, that just like how things unfold, because it's crazy. It really is crazy. These judges, these lawyers, this fraud, this collusion, who knows what it's for, money or friendships or whatever they got going on. But I can honestly say that we should never go in the courtroom feeling like we're already the victims and we did nothing wrong. We did nothing wrong but come in here, tell you guys the truth, put our life on the line, come to every court case and give you 100% plus of us. And basically we just got stepped on, and basically, just try to get dragged through the system. But no, we won't let that go. That's not us. We're not we're not letting this go, and we will continue to fight, like, especially for fraud and collusion that's been going on. No, I will not let nobody just put that on my name, my mother's name, my godmother's name. We will fight for what is right, like we've been doing all these years.
You think that's the son?
Yeah. First of all, JC offered them money. At first, he offered them bread, like, and everything, but his aunt didn't, like, approve of it. She said, no, Jay-Z got a lien on her house, all type of shit that was going on. This lady put up paperwork and everything with his name on it and all that. I mean, but Young Boy's so thorough, though, he just wanted dad. He not trying to get no money. He not trying to do none of that. But something happened to him, and I was like, yo, that sound kind of weird. He said he was coming out from work, going to work, and it was his car. Like, when he opened the door, he said he went to go, like, call his man, like, yo, did you leave a car? His man's like, no. He said, why you on the phone talking to his man? The cops pull up and lock him up. He said, he's telling the cops, no, that's not my. So he went in the building he was in, and they seen that somebody pulled up and put the in his car.
Oh.
And pulled off. I said, bro, I don't know nobody in the hood that got just waste like that.
See what I mean? Stuff that be going on behind the scenes, like that right there is insane. Because they trying to pretty much get rid of this dude. Sheesh.
Do that, I don't know what. He's like, yeah, so like Jay-Z had a gag order against him, like trying to get a gag order and try to.
At first, folks thought Jay-Z was dropping all that cash just to keep people from finding out he was allegedly creeping with underage girls back in the day. But honey, the streets are saying that ain't the only reason. Word is, Beyoncé herself has been in the loop this whole time and allegedly told Jay straight up that if he lets this mess hit the fan, she's out. As in, she's divorcing him and taking the kids right along with her.
You have told me that you believe that Beyoncé may have been one of the reasons why there wasn't a resolution.
I do believe that. Like in the very beginning, they didn't have a daughter, and there was seemed like we were understanding there was complications in getting conceived, etc.
Right.
And I felt like that would make some women, and it seemed like with her, she would fit that bill, uncomfortable about him having a fully grown son with a talent.
Right.
So I do believe that she had a problem. If it was true, she would have a problem with the fact that Rhymir was in the picture or coming in the picture, because that was a vulnerable time.
Right.
But clearly now, 10 years later, 12 years later, you would think somebody would say, hey, let's just get this.
Apparently, this is when her father, Matthew Knowles, also stepped in, because if y'all remember, there were rumors going on back in the day that Bey and Jay's marriage was a business agreement orchestrated by Matthew to help level up Bey's career. It turns out that at the time, Matthew didn't know about Rhymir because Rhymir didn't come out with these allegations until 2010. And by that time, Jay and Bey had already been together for years and were 2 years into their marriage. He couldn't just separate them. Around that same time, there were rumors going around that Jay was cheating on Bey with his now deceased mistress, Kathy White, who was allegedly pregnant with his baby at the time of her mysterious death. The popular journalist Liz Croken, who previously accused Jay-Z of taking Kathy's life to hide his affair with her, invited Rhymir and his godmother to her podcast to speak about his paternity case with Jay. And let's just say things got pretty heated.
Why do you think that it seemed that Jay-Z via his people were willing to work something out behind the scenes, and then all of a sudden that stopped? Why do you think that he is refusing to take a paternity test and stopped, working with you all behind the scenes? What was driving that, in your opinion?
Well, part of it was a rumor that was told that he didn't like the fact that this particular case was in the public, and he had a problem with Rhymir putting it in the public, which was not Rhymir, was his mother. So basically, in a nutshell, I just believe that was a big part of it. He didn't like the fact that it was in public. There was a time that Mr. Carter was trying to resolve the matter in the very beginning, and he was doing it in the best interest of Rhymir. And then somewhere he left his heart and started thinking with his head.
Do you think part of it is because Wanda was 16?
Yeah, well, definitely that's the big part of it. The allegations that we have, that the affidavit says that Wanda was 16 and he was 22. That's in Wanda's own words.
Right.
So therefore, that would be something that would make some people uncomfortable.
Right. Well, it's a crime. But for the record, you did tell me that Wanda told you that she did tell Jay-Z that she was of legal age. Is that true?
Right. She did tell me that she told him she was 18 or something, whatever she told him.
Rhymir's godmother, Lily, revealed during this interview with Liz that they've been followed and confronted by strange people who have their lives. At one point, Rhymir's house even got broken into while he was home, and the point who broke in warned him to drop the...
We've been followed.
Yep.
We had to go to the police about several things. There's people, like you said, came into the property. Some of them knocked on Rymir's window. They wanted Rymir to drop the case. This was early on. There's been a lot of what they call intimidation.
Rhymir actually tried to get clever with it and went the ancestry DNA route to prove that Jay-Z is his daddy. Yes, honey, he tried to trace his roots right back to the Carter bloodline online, but guess what? The test was tampered with and he never even got to see them. Now here's the real gag. Rhymir isn't the only bastard child that has been Jay through this paternity drama. Remember Letitia Masor? That other woman who also claimed to be his daughter? She tried to get Jay to take a DNA test too, but when he kept dodging it, she just went right ahead to an ancestry test and actually traced her lineage back to Jay's family. Right after that, she disappeared from social media, and according to the streets, she got paid off and signed an NDA. So Rhymir thought he could use the same roots to get hay, but Jay learned his lesson the first time and made sure to not allow it to happen again.
But we use ancestry.com, and that's basically say they didn't give me my paperwork back. Like, you know, I did the swab and spit in it and then get sent it to them, and when I called to try to get my information, basically it was an error, and I never heard of that.
There was an error. They wouldn't give you your paperwork.
Yeah, they won't give me my paperwork from ancestry.com. Now you have people saying use 23andMe, and I just want people to know, like, the courts got my DNA. So if they wanted to test my DNA, for me just to keep spending all this money, these guys can test it. It's Jay-Z and them, you know, and it's the judges. They have everything they need. So obviously I'm not out of the fight, and I won't stop. It's not just about no Jay-Z. I'm not just chasing Jay-Z. That's not what it's about. My mom passed away fighting this case until she was gone. So that's more important to me than anything.
But luckily for Rhymir, it looks like his decade-long fight might not have been for nothing, because the court recently denied Jay's motion to dismiss Rymir's claims, which means the case is going to continue and Jay will at some point be mandated by the court to do that paternity test he's been ducking since 2010. Jay's motion read, the fabricated allegations and claims have been addressed and rejected in multiple other courts, and plaintiffs' continued of defendant and disregard of those orders has already resulted in a contempt order. But as I said, the judge ruled in Rymir's favor and the Carters are pressed, especially Matthews. He feels like Jay is embarrassing his daughter once again, and there are rumors going around that there are talks of Bey possibly leaving Jay. I mean, Rymir's godmother explicitly says in that interview that Jay started ducking Rhymir after Bey got involved. Nothing is confirmed right now. You can rest assured that this case is far from over, since Rhymir doesn't plan on settling for anything less than a paternity test. One person said, Rhymir said, and you are the father, and I ain't stopping. He said, prove me wrong, protect this man. Another person said, the fact that he's refusing to take the test is giving guilty. Jay-Z literally bought his secret daughter a new, bigger home. It tells me he's covering his tracks. If he ain't yours, then take the test. Squash the rumors, it's not too hard. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of Jay-Z ducking Rhymir? And do y'all think Bey will listen to her father and leave Jay-Z? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.